Hey there, Barrett Wilson here. Today we're going to learn how to play Joy to the World on guitar. I'm going to show you a simple way to play just the melody, and then from there we're going to apply some simple chord melody shapes to add to the melody, and then lastly we'll cover a more intermediate chord melody approach. Now, to find more in-depth song lessons like these, plus a complete beginner to advanced guitar learning curriculum, make sure and click on the link in the description below for a free trial to Guitar Tricks. Plus, there's another link for a free ultimate beginner guide that includes an essential chord chart, a practice plan, and so much more. Okay, so in order to learn this, we want to start off by focusing on just the melody by itself, which is a great thing to know. In order to do this, we want to focus on the G major scale in just one octave. We're going to play this song in the key of G. So it's going to sound like. Okay, now G major scale in one octave on G, B, and high E strings. Let's review it. Starting on open G to second fret, open B, first fret, third fret, open high E, second fret, third fret. The next thing we want to do is set our fingers to specific frets, and for the most part, keep a rule that we're going to leave them on those frets. So that means third fret, we're going to designate for our ring finger. So all the notes on the third fret, for now, we're going to leave to our ring finger. Middle finger is going to take the second fret notes. Index is going to take the first fret notes. And of course, open is open. Okay, so we have 10 bars total here. We're going to take it 2 bars at a time. I've got a tab on the screen so you can follow along. Bar 1, we're starting off ring finger. So third fret to second fret to open, move to the B string third fret, first fret, open, then we're going to move to the G string, second fret, and then open. We're basically climbing down the entire scale. That's our first phrase, kind of covers the first bar near the halfway point in the second bar. And you'll notice we've got a lot going on rhythmically actually in this. We've got some tied notes, we've got some dotted eighth notes, some 16th notes, some syncopations happening. So I'm gonna do my best to count my way through this so you can hear the rhythms, but this is a great melody to study these things. So we've got quarter note, going to that dotted eighth and 16th note. That's just that quicker sort of rhythm. 1, 2, E and a 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how we count that first phrase. The second phrase actually starts on the and of beat 4 and goes into bars 3 and 4. So we move to third fret of the B string on and of 4. Let's count that out. 1, 2, E and a 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Okay, we're going to continue this way on to bars 3 and 4. So coming out of that and of 4, we go to open E, hit it again to second fret, hit it again to third fret of high E. And let that ring out. That's our next phrase. So, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, hold, 3, 4. Again, next phrase starts on the and of beat 4. So you're going to see that a lot in this melody. The next phrase is 2 quicker phrases that are exactly the same. Okay, so it's starting on that and of beat 4, third fret of high E. We hit it again in bar 5. We go second fret, open, walking it down, 3rd fret of B, hit that again, and then 1st fret, and then open. So again, walking down the scale quicker here, and then we repeat that same thing. In bar 6. Let me count through those 2 phrases. Here's what we get. And 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. And right there I finished on the and of beat 4 again. We're moving into our next phrase. And of beat 4 we have and 1 and, that's both open, open again, 1st fret, 3rd fret, then we're going to play open, move to 2nd fret of G, hit it 3 times, open B, 1st fret, back to 2nd fret. Let's count through that from the and of beat 4. Open B. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and right there. Okay, we've reached our last 2 bars here, bars 9 and 10. Our last phrase, we're coming from that 2nd fret of G string. We go open G on beat 1 there, play the octave to the 3rd fret of high E. So that's it. And then we go open 3rd of the B string, 1st fret, open, 1st fret, last bar here, 2 quarter notes, open, 2nd fret of G, open G. Ending on beat 3 there. Let's count through those last 2 bars. We get 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, great job. Let's put all that together and we'll play through it really slowly. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 E and a 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is a nice moment to pause, take a breath, drop your shoulders. Now remember to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this and you want to keep up on the content. Also, check that link in the description for that free trial of guitar tricks. Okay, next we're going to add in some super basic chords to this melody for a very beginner-friendly chord melody. Now basically what we're going to be doing here is adding in some open strings, strumming over the melody. Sounds kind of like this. Okay, so we're utilizing a lot of open strings and we're playing some small shapes. So general shapes we'll want to be aware of is G. We're going to just call this a G. Even though we have a D open string in the bass, we're calling it G. And it's 1 finger G there, strumming D string down. Next, we're going to have a C shape, which is like our regular C chord, but without our ring finger. Also D string down. Regular D shape that we're familiar with. And then also a D shape that's more of a D5 that's just open and 2nd fret of G. That's going to happen in there as well. Okay, so let's walk through it 2 bars at a time. We're playing the same melody. Now basically we're kind of just going to add strums on beats 1 and 3 on those D, G, B, and high E strings. So similar to... Okay, if I count that out, 1, 2 E and a 3. So I'm strumming on beats 1 and 3, letting the open strings ring out. Okay? Let me count those first two bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Okay, so that's bars 1 and 2. Let's move on to bars 3 and 4. We're gonna apply that C shape. Our melody there is on the high E. We strum the single note. You can up pick there if that helps. Move to D. And that chord has the melody in it on top, which is great. Hit that note again. And then our full G shape. Let that ring out. We got one more note here on the and of 4 that leads us into bars, where are we at? 5 and 6. So this is the part where the melody descends and we've got the phrase that happens twice. So we strum G again. And then make that melody happen over the chords. You can alternate pick there or down pick. Now you can see I'm just strumming those open strings there on beats 1 and 3. It sounds great. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 and. Okay, now we're at bars 7 and 8. Still playing open strings. We got all of that is open G. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and. Now here's where that small D comes in. Small D shape, just a D5. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and. So you're actually going to kind of hold this small D7 shape once we get to beat 3. 1 and 2 and 3, strumming D, G, and B right there. And then we have that last note on the and of 4. Okay, and then finally, our last 2 bars, we get 1 and 2 and 3, a 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So we don't have a lot of space here, so when we hit that low note, we're just hitting 2 strings there, then the octave, 3 strings, 3 open strings, 2 strings for that D chord, 2 strings to finish on G. So 1 and 2 and 3, a 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's go ahead and try that whole thing together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and a 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and a 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and a 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and a 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, you're doing so great if you've made it this far. Now it's time for a little bit more of an intermediate chord melody version. Basically, all we're going to do here is add fuller, bigger, open chord shape. So let's review. Now, instead of just using 1 finger, we're going to play a G shape that's 2 fingers. So for now, keep that ring finger on 3rd fret of high E, also middle finger on 3rd fret of low E. Kind of mute that A string with the pad of that finger. We get a really nice G shape here that can move around the major scale. Now let me show you what I mean by that. We've got our ring finger and our index finger that can move around the scale. Just like that if we hold our middle finger down. Just those notes that we were playing. Now a lot of this is holding that G chord, and then occasionally we've got our C, we've got our D as well. Now 2 shapes we want to be aware of are D over F sharp, which is this. We've got our middle finger on 2nd fret of low E. We've got open D, ring finger on 2nd fret of the G string, and that's pretty much it. Again, muting that A string. So this is going to be a very useful shape, and you'll see why. And then we're also going to have an E minor. Regular old E minor, but I want you to fret it with index and middle this time. So if you're used to middle and ring, let that go. Switch to index and middle, 1 and 2 fingers there. Okay, so basically, we're going to retrofit these chords over the rhythms and melody that we've already learned. So let's break it down. Bars 1 and 2, we're starting on that G, big old G shape, and then walk down the scale. Strum all the way to the next note. So that's kind of the rule. Whenever you have a melody note, you want to make that the highest note. Okay, moving on. We're going to move to D over F sharp shape. And that's the melody note on that 2nd fret of the G string. So we only strum to that point, and then open G. So we get 1, 2 E and a 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now on that and of beat 4, I want you to use your pinky to go to that 3rd fret of the B string. So this is where we're going to break the rule this time. And this is because moving into bars 3 and 4, we're going to that C chord, and we want to be able to transition those other fingers over. You see that? So we were here on G. Now we put pinky down, move to that C chord. All right, so we're on to bars 3 and 4 here. Hit that note again to D. And again, all of these notes are here on the top of these chords, which makes it really nice. Back to G. And then we have G again, and a 4, leading us into our next phrase. Okay, we're at bars 5 and 6 now. We're still holding this G chord and just going through it. And 1, and 2, and 3, and a 4, and. Okay, that's all pretty self-explanatory, just G chord, moving the scale around. Okay, we're at bars 7 and 8 now. Still on G, 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and. Now we move to D over F sharp, 1, and 2, and 3. Hold that shape also with that index finger there. Just like that, it's more of like a D7 over F sharp. And then our open A, our 2nd fret of A. And then it's E minor this time. So with 1, 2, grab the melody octave with your pinky, and then open high E, move to G with 3rd fret on the B string, and then G with open B, D over F sharp, G. So for those last 4 bars, we get 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and a 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you got it? This is very fun. Let's try and play it together. Here we go. I'll count us in. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and a 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and a 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and a 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, a 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now one last tip here before we go and off to our holidays is if you're playing with a singer, if you're going to go out caroling, playing with a group, you need to find the right key. Always put on a capo, move it around, noodle a little bit, just to find the right key. Here I'm going to put it on the 3rd fret. Sounds like this. All right, thanks so much for watching today, learning how to play chords and melody together. It's not an easy task, but I hope this process helps you with other songs that you may want to try in this style. All right, have a happy holidays. Make sure and click on the link to grab your free beginner guide right here at the end of the video.